Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Um, Today I'll be creating a really short video on how to get started in InDesign. I know it's a software that could be a little bit intimidating when you're starting off as a graphic designer, but it is a software that's really good for books, flyers, magazines, and all those type of things once you get accustomed to everything in it. It's not very different from the other software in the Adobe branch, so Illustrator and Photoshop. So if you're used to those softwares, you can easily get into the habit of working with InDesign. InDesign has a lot of functions, which is what makes it so good when it comes to layout design, but it can be overwhelming. So for the first video on this series, I'm just going to teach you how to create a file. It's really simple. It doesn't take a lot of time, but you do need to know where you're going with your document. In this situation, I'm only going to be making a letter-sized document. You can make tabloid, you can make business cards, so it's always important to know what the size of your document is going to be. One of the first things that you're going to do is you're going to be pressing on New File. Really that simple. So you're going to have this pop-up. At the top of this pop-up, you're going to have Recent, Saved, Print, Web, or Mobile. These are all presets, but you have to keep in mind that when you're printing, you need to select the Print section. It's very, very important to have that preset. It's going to set up your document already to be ready for print. So it's going to have the 300 dpi, it's going to have the CMYK, it's not going to think about RGB, which we can cover in another video. But to start with, if you're printing it, click on Print. If you are wanting to create visuals for the web, so anything that's going on social media, you can press on Web. Disclaimer: if you are going to do this, I suggest you go back into Photoshop and Illustrator. While InDesign is a very good tool, it's not necessarily the tool to use to create visuals that will go on social media. With that being said, if you have, let's say, 25 visuals to do and they all have the same design type, but it's just the picture in the back that's changing, InDesign is a very good choice. It's just for its master pages, so the parent pages and the child pages, which I've shown in another video that I'll link in the description. But let's just go back to basics. We want to make a page letter format, which is 8.5 by 11. But you're going to see here, you're going to say, Kim, what is this 51p0, these units? I don't know what this is. What is all of this? Stop. The units can be changed between inches, centimeters, whichever you are more comfortable with. I personally work in inches, and we all know that a letter format is 8.5 by 11. So you don't have to ask yourself that much question. Now, like I said, if you are used to working in centimeters, you can automatically change your units to centimeters. The change that you're going to do here is going to reflect on the entire document as you're working on it. So make sure you pick out the one that you want to not get too confused, but keep in mind that you can change it once you've created your blank pages. So now you're going to look at everything and you might be overwhelmed. Oh my goodness. Orientation, facing pages, primary text frame, columns, gutter, margins, bleed and slug. Whoa, it's overwhelming. There's a lot. I know, but don't worry. If you're just printing this at home, ignore the bleed and slug aspect. That's the first point. If you're not going to be going to a printer or cutting your images to a certain size with crop marks that we call them, just hide it and remove it from your brain for now. The only thing that's interesting are the margins. Now, the margins is the one that goes all around your document. So let's say you want a smaller margin. Well, you can bring it down. You can put it at 0.125, or you can put it at 375. So this really doesn't affect the overall design. It really depends on how you're wanting to create it. The border around your page is kind of important when you're printing. You don't want anything stuck to the sides. That's why your border is there. It's going to be created in your blank image. Not image, well, the page. So if you like to have a bigger border on the outsides of your text, make a bigger border. Rule of thumb, though, never go under 0.125. And I'm going to explain this because it's part of the industry, but it's not something that you necessarily need to remember for now unless you're printing with a printer. 0.125 or 1/8 of an inch is the bleed, and it can also be your security zone. So that means that when people cut your design, what happens is that it gives you that security so it doesn't cut into your text. So rule of thumb, never go under 0.125. Now, I like big margins, so I like a big border, so I'm just going to leave it at 0.5 inches. Now, columns and column gutter. The column gutter is going to be the space between the columns that you create in your page. This little setting is really more in intermediate. It's a little bit more advanced. I was trying to say a word. My English is not so good, but whatever. It's a little bit more advanced, and you have to know a little bit of more knowledge on grids. So I would suggest you just leave it as is. One column is just going to mean that it's going to be one blank page. That's it. Facing pages. So facing pages is when you're making a magazine or a book. It's going to create your document like you're creating a book. So it's going to put the pages one beside each other like you would see it in the spread when you're opening a book. For this example though, we're just making a paper. It's just one. There's not 20, it's just one. So just remove facing pages. We don't need it. It's not important. Primary text frame, again, more used if you're going to do a book. It's going to create text boxes in your pages that will connect each other to themselves. So regardless of the text that you put into the first box, it's going to make sure that the whole text is spread out appropriately throughout all of your other pages. Again, it's a lot of big words. It's overwhelming, I know. But for now, you're starting out, you need to practice. You just want to make one page that you can work in. You don't need it. So that's all. If you are a beginner and you just want to create a file, this is how you're going to do it. If you want to do a 4x6, just change it. 6x4 because you want to make a postcard. Just change it. It's really the size of your document that's going to be important when you're starting off. Once that's all done, you press create. And there you have it. You are going to have your first created document. So congrats, you did it. You created a document. It's really that simple. It doesn't take a lot of time, and You might be overwhelmed like seeing all of these different buttons, but once you've created that, you can go in the top right corner here beside your share button, and you're going to have this scroll down menu. As you can see, mine is on advanced. I worked with this document, not this document, I work with this software in the advanced version because I'm used to it and I know where everything is. You can just go in Essentials Classic and it's really just going to give you normal stuff. Or you can go into Essentials and it's going to give you the properties, your libraries, your pages, and that's that. It really doesn't need to be complicated. It's overwhelming, but you can get through this. There will be no issue. You've already made the first step, which is creating a document. Good job. I hope this was helpful. If there will be chapters, so you can go back and listen again to what I say. There's a lot to be learned from this software, but it is an amazing software and it does make life a lot easier when you have documents that are very, very, very big in pages. But like a website, you do have to have a wireframe in mind when you're going into this software. I personally create my wireframes when I'm in the document because I'm a visual person and it's easier for me, but you can draw out your design and then come into InDesign and set it all up. But for today, this video was about how to create a document in InDesign. If you've made it this far, congratulations, you did it. You can play around and have fun with it. Like I said, the tools are very similar to Photoshop. There's a lot of things that you'll see are the same thing. There's text. You have everything. So have fun, play around, try to get used to it. I'll try to make more videos about how to use it. For now, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. It does help me a lot. I do put on a lot of time and effort into these videos and trying to help people. I love InDesign. It's a great software and I just want more people to be able to enjoy it without having to go through all those hard times. So that's it for today. I hope you have an awesome day and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.